Good afternoon and welcome to the Chigwell Construction Stadium in East London for this Barclays Women's Super League clash between West Ham United and Everton. These sides have managed just 3 WSL wins between them so far. Everton, though, did taste victory last time out against Aston Villa and want to build on that to steer clear of getting sucked into the relegation battle. West Ham, well, they are already in it. Goal difference alone keeps them above bottom club Bristol City, who are in action against Liverpool already this afternoon in a 2 o'clock kickoff. So West Ham will be keeping eyes and ears on that result. I'm sure the fans will in the stands this afternoon. Such an important match for West Ham in the relegation battle. And Everton, they would have hoped to have been a little bit ahead of where they are regarding points tally at the moment. Well, West Ham boss Rhian Skinner makes just one change. In comes 21-year-old Irish midfielder Jess Zhu for her first WSL start of the season as Emma Harris drops to the bench. The Hammers are still without injured goalkeeper and captain Mackenzie Arnold, so Megan Walsh continues to deputise between the sticks. And Everton manager Brian Sorensen joked pre-match that he might have to play a 1-6-3 formation as captain Megan Finnegan is his only fully fit defender. He said Natalie Bjorn may only last for a half, and Katrina Weiss, she's injured her ankle while with Denmark, so she is out until the new year. Italy forward Martina Piemonte serves the second of her 3-game ban. So former England forward Tony Duggan makes her first WSL start since the final day of the season before last. How Everton would love a goal from her this afternoon, or a goal from anyone. In fact, they don't have a great record away to West Ham, or indeed away to any London club in the WSL. West Ham so desperate to get points on the board this afternoon. Lisa Evans, the number 7 there, former Arsenal player, Scotland international, a WSL winner with the Gunners back in 2019. They'll need all her experience this afternoon. As the captains head to speak to the referee. Of course, today is the Stonewall Rainbow Laces celebration day in the WSL, marking, of course, the fact that football is a game for everybody and should be free of discrimination. Both these clubs have played an important role in that campaign over the years as the teams switch ends. Points so important for both these clubs this afternoon. Everton desperate not to get dragged down into the relegation battle. West Ham so desperate to claw themselves out of trouble. Points so hard to come by for both teams so far this season. Everton with 8 points on the board from their 2 wins and 2 draws. And West Ham just 4 points to show for their 1 win and 1 draw, as the players and officials take the knee to highlight there's no room for racism or social injustice in football or wider society. And we are off and underway at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Brian Sorensen really did cut a downcast figure in his pre-match press conference when he highlighted the injury problems his side are experiencing. Both these teams with so many players who have just got back from international duty, the Nations League and other qualifying campaigns around the world. There may be some tired legs out there already before this game has really begun almost. Early throw in for the home side. Haven't won in front of their home fans in the WSL for just over a year now. Now the fans would love to see that change this afternoon. Walsh out towards Smith. And Asai has come back and finds Stringer taking on her former club, of course. Hayashi knocks it off to Zhu. Ueki out to the right-hand flank. Evans with the cross in. Decent start for West Ham. Stringer to Sissoko. Has the captain's armband on again in the absence of Arnold. Shimizu, long ball forward. All the way through to Brosnan, former West Ham player, of course. Smith with the throw-in for West Ham. Real difficult time it's been for Everton on the injury front for Brian Sorensen. And he's got Man City next weekend. Desperate to get points on the board today. Heather Payne with the cross in. And West Ham scrambling it away. Lovely cross in this from Heather Payne, who's had a fine international break with Ireland. Well done to them being promoted to Group A. And it was Sorensen, in fact, with the shot, shanked it well wide. Ueki runs through, but Brosnan read it really well, the Everton goalkeeper, knocks it out of play. Duggan does really well. Here comes Asai for West Ham, gets the shot away, trickles wide. Ueki knocks it on. It's going to go behind for a goal kick. Stringer with the touch in, but it's won back by Everton by Schnoisch. Likewise had a fine international break with the Netherlands, getting through to the Nations League finals at England's expense, of course. Sissoko picks it up for West Ham. Back to Walsh. Smith to Asai. Asai tries to knock it through the middle for Ueki, but Everton Sissoko. Sissoko knocks it forward, and it's going to go all the way through to Brosnan. Brosnan forced to scamper back. Everton have only once scored away against West Ham in WSL history, and that was the occasion of their only win way back in March 2019. Asai charges through, Brosnan gets it away. West Ham trying to avoid an unwanted club record today of a 5th consecutive WSL defeat. Everton looking to make that a real possibility as Sorensen gets the cross in, and it is behind for an Everton corner. Sorensen, of course, announcing a few days back she's going to retire at Christmas. She's not enjoying football anymore, she says, and she's going to quit the game and pursue other interests. Really sad to see her go. She will retire after the Manchester City match next weekend. There is a League Cup game, Continental Cup game in midweek for Everton against Liverpool, but Brian Sorensen already saying he's going to field a lot of the youngsters in that game because it's a dead rubber from Everton's perspective. Everton with a corner here, an early chance for pressure, and Walsh gets to punch away. Everton keep it alive though, it's knocked back into the West Ham area. Has been a bright start from the visitors despite all of their problems. Payne, who's switched flanks, the Ireland international, and Evans shepherds it back really well and manages to force Payne to put it behind for a goal kick. Let's run you through the full teams. Megan Walsh in goal for West Ham. Lisa Evans, Risa Shimizu, Amber Tiziak, Haba Sissoko, the captain, and Kirsty Smith ahead of her. Abby Lee Stringer, the holding midfielder, the former Everton player. Jess Zhu, Hanoka Hayashi behind Viviana Sai and Riko Ueki, who between them have provided all of West Ham's goals and assists in the last couple of games. And Everton, the visitors, Courtney Brosnan, former West Ham keeper, in goal for them. Natalie Bjorn, Megan Finnegan, Aurora Galley, the back three. Finnegan wearing the captain's armband as Asai is knocked to the turf here and wins West Ham a free kick. Ahead of them, Tony Duggan, Hannah Bennison, Claire Wheeler and Sarah Holmgard. And Katja Snoish behind Nicoline Sorensen and Heather Payne up top for the visitors. Payne with the throw in for Everton. I mentioned how Heather Payne's had a great international break with Ireland, getting promoted to Group A of the Nations League, winning their Group B. Of course, that also goes for a few of the other players on show this afternoon. Courtney Brosnan, the Republic of Ireland goalkeeper and Everton goalkeeper, playing every match of that campaign. Jessie Stapleton and Izzy Atkinson of West Ham, also part of the Ireland setup throughout the campaign. Megan Walsh, the West Ham keeper, not in the squad at the moment, but an Ireland international. Jess Zhu of West Ham, also in the past, but not at the moment among the Ireland squad. So a bright future ahead for Ireland coming up to Group A of the Nations League. Sissoko. Across to Hayashi, who knocks it back to Tiziak of Belgium. They were in England's group, of course. They also went into the final stages with hopes of winning that group, but it was Netherlands in the end who took it. Sissoko. Asai with the back heel attempt. Kirsty Smith knocks it out for an Everton throw. Galley for Everton to Payne. Has been a really good start for Everton, the visitors. Payne with the cross in and gathered by Walsh. Bristol City have gone 1-0 up at Liverpool, and that is really bad news for West Ham, because coming into today, Bristol City, bottom of the table, only goal difference keeping West Ham above them, both on 4 points, but Bristol City winning away to Liverpool. West Ham on the charge here, but it goes all the way through to Brosnan. And if that stays the same, it's going to leave West Ham bottom of the table with just one game to play before the Christmas break. Really putting the pressure on them to get something this afternoon. That final game for West Ham. It's away to Leicester, so tricky as a free kick is won here. For the challenge on Zhu, well, it was handball in the end, actually, by Sarah Holmgard, as she won the ball ahead of her opponent, but it flicked onto her arm. So an opportunity for West Ham, who haven't had much of the ball in this opening quarter of an hour, to try and create something from a set piece. Whipped into the area, Tiziak with a header over the bar. Well, it was a good delivery, and Tiziak stole into space, but couldn't keep the header down. Oh, and that's a really good chance looking back at it. She stole between the Everton defenders Got a firm head on it, but well over the bar. Long ball forward. Ball down by Benison, who does really well to keep it in on this near touchline. Great footwork from the Swede. Actually, surely not to the turf. No, says the referee. As Everton look to bring it away. Duggan. Back to Bjorn, who knocks it across to her captain, Finnegan. Brian Sorensen saying before the game he wasn't convinced Natalie Bjorn, one of the three centre-backs, would be able to last the whole game, as Sarah Holmgaard wins a free kick for Everton because of the injury problems she's had. Lucy Hope and Elisa Stenovic also remain out. 7 first-team squad members injured, also Piemonte suspended. We spoke a lot about losing Gabby George in the summer. Of course, she signed for Manchester United, and as a homegrown player, club has had to replace her with a homegrown player. They can't go out and sign an overseas player. He was talking about how that's added to their problems as well. But a decent start here, and if they could get a win under their belts and head into that final game against Manchester City with a bit of breathing space above the drop zone, and perhaps they can rebuild after the Christmas break. West Ham, though, really in trouble. The greater need for points is theirs this afternoon. Just that one win on the second weekend of the season at Brighton. Smith can't keep that in, it bounced too high. Good news for West Ham, though, is that Liverpool have equalised. So it's Liverpool 1, Bristol City 1. And that moves us back into a position where West Ham are off the bottom of the table on goal difference alone, both of them on 5 points as things stand. If you consider this being the 5th point of the season for West Ham, if this was to finish in a draw, as it is right now, but Everton looking to break the deadlock. Wheeler couldn't quite get clear of her opponents. Everton win the throw-in. They will have taken so much confidence from that last result. Everton, a win against Aston Villa, 2-1 victory, another claret and blue club, of course. How they would love to follow that up with victory again this afternoon. It's swept back by Duggan to Brosnan. Actually did really well there to play the 1-2 with Smith. Oh, lovely build-up play this from Everton. They've got 3 players forward. Pushed out wide to Duggan, who cuts back inside, and oh, it's across the goal and just wide of that far post. A really decent effort by Tony Duggan on a rare WSL start. She did so well to bring it under control and back onto her left foot with that first touch, but just couldn't quite get the bend on it to bring it inside that far post. Closest either side have come as we near the halfway mark of the first half at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Well, we were led to believe that Aurora Galley may start in that back line for Everton, but it's Sarah Holmgaard who has done so alongside Bjorn and Finnegan, which always seemed more likely. And the ball has come all the way through to Courtney Brosnan. It's given away. Oh, and Asai just couldn't quite be picked out. Hayashi charges through the middle, but Everton scramble it away. Tiziak. Lovely ball by her to Hayashi. He knocks it short to Stringer. Everton win it back. Benison to Sorensen. Snoish is calling for it through the middle, and can she get there? Sissoko is there first and wins the goal kick. Snoish appealing for a corner. She's absolutely furious, Katja Snoish. Asai takes the throw in. Well, I thought that was an Everton throw, but West Ham's Asai took it, and it's with Ueki. Stringer. Abby Lee Stringer taking on her former club this afternoon. 30 WSL apps across 3 seasons with Everton. Only scored 1 goal in that time. So a free kick is given West Ham's way for the tug by Galley on Hayashi. She pulled her opponent's arm. Free kick given, which Evans will take. Evans knocks it on towards Tiziak, who couldn't win the header. They'll just trickle out for the throw.
Stretch it to start with, Tony. Cat, get it closer.
Asai does really well to win that back for West Ham. Stringer picks it up, a little bit of space. Oh, and that's surely a push. Free kick given for the foul on Jess Zhu. She was clattered into. West Ham just beginning to come into the game a bit more now after a really bright start. It's Holmgaard clattered into Zhu, and it'll be Evans with the free kick for the Hammers. No booking, no card shown, just a talking to. Evans with the free kick, goes for goal. It's too close to Brosnan. Mentioned how Brosnan's taking on her former club this afternoon, the Everton goalkeeper, who saved this one comfortably. Of course, that's also the case for Megan Walsh at the other end, a former Everton player. Played a handful of WSL games for the Toffees way back in 2013 and 2014. The following season in WSL 2, where she helped them back up to the top flights straight away before leaving. Neither goalkeeper has had much to do in this opening 26 minutes. It's off Asai for the throw in to Everton. Smith gets there for the Hammers. Wanaweki was pushed to the turf there, but the referee either said no foul or advantage as it fell to Smith. Everton win it back though. Only momentarily as Hayashi charges back in for West Ham. Sissoko out to Smith. Asai, lovely ball over the top by the France international. Oh, Smith picks this up for West Ham, really good opportunity! And Zhu just couldn't quite get on the end of it. Lovely flowing build-up play from the home side. Uweki threaded it through to Smith, who pulled it back, oh, perfectly onto the foot of Zhu, and she just couldn't quite connect. As Brosnan gathers comfortably this time round. Payne keeps it in, and Brosnan knocks it clear, but only as far as Smith, who heads it back towards Payne. Stringer wins it for West Ham. Short ball to Sissoko. Smith low cross in towards the edge of the area. Everton get it away again. Well, it was great to see West Ham playing with that sort of fluency. We haven't seen enough of that from them this season. There were positives to take from that last result before the international break. A 3-0 defeat away to Arsenal. Sounds strange to say positives, but they did really well in the second half of that game. They were 3-0 down at the break. No disgrace, of course, to let 3 goals into Arsenal in the first half. That's exactly what Chelsea did this afternoon, as Asai wins a free kick, the foul by Bjorn. Champions and league leaders Chelsea letting in 3 in the first half at the Emirates this afternoon, as we see that foul again by Bjorn on Asai. Chelsea going on to lose that match 4-1. So Arsenal now level on points with Chelsea, as Bjorn gets a talking to here from the referee Adi Sonai. And just a talking to. Evans went for goal last time. Too far out, you'd imagine, this time round, as the West Ham players crowd the edge of the box, and she knocks it towards Uweki, who was ghosting in at the far post, but it was not quite weighted correctly. Too much pace on it, took it beyond Uweki.
Wider.
Shimizu with the throw-in for West Ham. Half an hour played, still goalless. Few chances of note. Bjorn picks it up for Everton and threads it through the middle to Snoish. That was a lovely ball by Bjorn to Snoish. Payne now for Everton. Low ball in, and half chance on the edge of the 6-yard box. West Ham defended well, got back in numbers. Asai on the turn.
Tony, look at space. Heather, space.
Kept in by Duggan. Sissoko with the throw back to Tiziak. Sue holds her hands up to say it was no foul on Holmgaard, but the referee disagrees. Free kick given in Everton's favour. Shimizu scurries back to keep it in momentarily and knocks it out for the Everton throw, which Wheeler will take. Wheeler finds Snoish. Snoish back to Bjorn. Bjorn plays a 1-2 with Duggan, and the shot immediately deflects off a West Ham boot from Bjorn. Stringer and Wheeler both fall to the turf momentarily, nothing given. Brosnan knocks it out towards Snoish in the middle of the park, and Evans just lets that go for the throw-in. The referee just checks on Sissoko, who was down on her haunches but is now back on her feet, and play gets back underway. Duggan puts Sissoko under pressure and forces her to play it back to Walsh. Recchi is knocked down by Finnegan, and that's another West Ham free kick. Been a fair bit of physicality, and a yellow card is going to be shown to the Everton captain for that one. Megan Finnegan into the book. I think the referee had little choice there. Lisa Evans is told to just come back a few yards to take the free kick from the correct position. Evans smashes it forward and Smith wins the header. There was no West Ham player charging into that territory that she was directing it towards. Conversation continues between Finnegan and the referee. Moments after he showed her a yellow card. West Ham coaching staff and the Everton coaching staff have had so many problems to contend with in this first half of the season. I think they will welcome the Christmas break before it all resumes with the FA Cup fourth round, the round at which the WSL teams enter on January the 14th. As Everton win a free kick. Still another WSL fixture to come next weekend, of course. It was Snoish who was knocked over and then pushed by Tiziak. Benison to take this free kick for the visitors. Looking to score only their second ever away goal against West Ham in WSL history. The first one they scored was a winner way back in March 2019. This free kick almost comes through to Duggan, and the shot is knocked straight down the throat of Walsh by Finnegan. The Everton centre-back getting all the way forward for that volley. She is, of course, Everton's top scorer this season with 3 goals. Captain and centre-back. Bit of a worrying sign when your centre-back is your top scorer. Rhian Skinner in the bobble hat there. Will have taken, as I said, positives from that second half performance away to Arsenal in the last match before the international break. They're looking to make it now 2 consecutive halves of football without conceding. Got to build on solid foundations. But really, both these teams lacking goals, a big part of their problems this season. Sissoko with the block. Knocks it inside to Hayashi. Hayashi picks it up again and threads it through the Everton defence. Lovely ball from Hayashi to pick out Asai. Short to Smith. Smith just does enough to find Asai once more. He tries to pick out Oeki, and it wasn't far away from Rico Oeki's head. It was a lovely ball by Asai. Those two combined so well. They have done in recent encounters. And it was just an inch or 2 off the head of Rico Oeki.
Look for these rotations, Puko. Have a look at the rotation.
Asai, part of the France squad, which won their group in the Nations League. They are through to the Nations League finals, the semi-finals in February. 4 teams in with a chance of winning that inaugural competition. Asai again with the cross towards the far post. This one too high for Oeki. Brosnan gathers it. Asai and France will, of course, host the Paris Olympics, so they've already qualified as hosts, meaning that's effectively an extra spot in a way for Europe. If France were to get to the Nations League final, then whoever wins the 3rd place playoff in the Nations League will also qualify for the Paris Olympics. Sissoko to Smith. All the way back to Brosnan, who gets there just in time. Drops over the head of Benison, though, to Asai, who has looked like West Ham's brightest player in this first half. It's given away by Evans. Stringer gets back for West Ham. It has been a scrappy first half, as perhaps we would have expected from 2 teams struggling. Just the 3 wins between them so far this season. 2 for Everton, 1 for West Ham. Stringer is put under pressure and just does enough as Wheeler challenges her. It came off Wheeler, so Walsh was able to pick it up. And Walsh quickly sets West Ham on their way through Shimizu. He tries to knock it over the top for Oeki, but again doesn't quite get the pass right, and it bounces all the way through to Brosnan. Duggan to Benison and back to Brosnan. Finnegan plays it off a West Ham boot and out for an Everton throw. Final 5 minutes plus added time in the first half. Payne keeps it in and knocks it over the top. It goes all the way through to Sissoko. Sissoko's ball to Tiziak was loose, but Tiziak did well to get there. Galley wins it back in the centre circle and wins a free kick. Challenged by Asai. As she pushes away, well, it was half a shot, but you've got to be careful raising your hands at all these days. So a bit of an unnecessary risk that by Galley. Sorensen could get on the end of this one. Sorensen's got Snoish in the middle, but it deflects off a West Ham boot. And behind for a corner, Tiziak takes the high fives of Smith and Sissoko. Did well there, the Belgian centre-back. Corner to Everton as Benison holds both hands aloft. And it comes from Benison towards the far post and headed by Finnegan, just wide of the far post. Well, she's claiming it came off a West Ham head, I think, or either that or she's saying she was pushed. But Finnegan climbed high as she so often does and glanced it wide. Really good delivery that was from Benison. Hayashi back to Tiziak, who knocks it clear. Stringer finds Asai. Asai in space. He's got Smith ahead of him. Goes alone to Asai. Everton's back line holds firm. Smothered down the opportunity for a shot. And now they surge clear with Benison. Sorensen. Sorensen with the cross towards Snoish. West Ham head it away. Picked up by Asai. Walsh with the clearance. Asai with the challenge on Bjorn. Closed it down well, timed the challenge well. And knocks it out for an Everton throw. Into the final minute of the half, plus added time. Snoish. Stringer slid in to get a foot on it. He was unable to bring it under control. Shimizu surges forward, lovely ball to Asai, who knocks it onto Ueki, who couldn't bring it under control. Asai is so frustrated because it looked like the perfect pass, but it just got under the feet of Ueki. Just took a bobble maybe off the pitch. Oh, what a move that was again. For the second time this afternoon, a really good flowing West Ham move. Just 1 minute of added time to play has resulted in the attacking player just not managing to get a purchase on it. First we saw Zhu knock a weak shot really to Brosnan when well placed, and this time Ueki just couldn't bring the ball under her control. It looks like it's going to be honours even at the break. Elsewhere, Bristol City, the latest scoreline, Still 1-1 at Liverpool. That match was a 2 o'clock kickoff, so it's in its final stages. West Ham will be dearly hoping Bristol City don't nick a late winner there, as this one is goalless at the break. Rico Ueki with a late half chance when Viviana Asai, the strike partner, played her in, and it just dinked off a bobble and over her foot when she was looking to bring it under control and pull the trigger. But there have been precious few moments, really, of attacking intent from either side. Both sides struggling as we near the winter break, and a pretty scrappy affair, it has to be said. Will there be a winner for either team in the second half? Half-time at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. West Ham United 0, Everton 0. As the players head in to the dressing rooms, and we can look at the best of what there was served up from either team. Heather Payne with an early cross in, and Sorensen shanked it wide, well wide of the target. Asai, West Ham's France international, was unable to get the right connection on that one as she rolled it wide of the far post. Tony Duggan, on a rare WSL start, was beautifully played in. Did really well to bring it back onto her left boot, and it wasn't far wide at all. That was the best opportunity that either team created in the first half. This was lovely build-up play from West Ham. Ueki to Smith, and Zhu couldn't get the right connection on it either. Late on in the half, Megan Finnegan, captain and top scorer with 3 WSL goals, climbing highest but glancing it wide. So often we see the back of the net bulge when Megan Finnegan wins a corner. Not to be on this occasion. Do please join us again for the second half after the break. At half-time, it's West Ham United 0, Everton 0.
The greatest women's footballer of all times, I think definitely Marta. She just does her own thing, and she's on a different level.
Marta from Brazil. She has just been so great in the women's football, just her technique, everything, the way she played.
Hope Solo, because she changed the goalkeeper game.
I'm going to say Kelly Smith. Stick with the English, and yeah, I mean, what a talent she was.
Beyonce? I would say Beyonce. Because her moves are great, and the way she it's just, she's a whole package, you know.
Definitely Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Greatest singer, Whitney Houston.
Ed Sheeran.
I quite like Chris Brown, Ed Sheeran. Pick between the two.
No, the greatest kit is definitely my Chelsea kit. Am I even allowed to say anything else?
I like the current Canadian kit. I'm a fan right now.
I think the reversible England kit I used to have as a kid, I loved that.
From the German national team, the under-17 jersey.
My Mercurial. I like the pink one we had the last time, but I also like the white ones I'm wearing now, so...
There was this light blue Adidas X's.
Probably got to be the Adidas Preds, the light whitey cream with the red tongue, yeah.
Oh, I remember my first boots, my first Nikes. Those were my greatest boots.
It's a German one. Okay. Fuck you, Goethe.
I like Ariel. I'm just gonna say that's not the greatest film, but I'm just gonna say it because it's my favorite right now.
Well, my favourite is Love and Basketball. Not sure if many people have seen that.
The greatest rom-com ever, The Notebook or something.
I mean, I love the Titanic, the Notebook. I'm a quite emotional person, you know what I mean? So yeah, I go for the Notebook.
I'd say Wembley and Emirates. They're both pretty beautiful.
The greatest stadium that I've played in, definitely Wembley, especially when it's crowded.
Stade de la Maison. It was our opening game in the 2019 World Cup versus Cameroon, so Memorial Stadium.
Parc des Princes in France and Allianz Arena in Munich.
Anfield. Anfield's amazing stadium, the people, the supporters, everything. Yeah, I just love the stadium.
I've actually only been to one concert and it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. That was a really good one. I don't know if I can top that one with a better one.
Greatest concert, Beyonce.
Ed Sheeran.
I'd probably say Kim Little. Yeah, top talent, and I mean her ability on the ball is incredible.
Greatest player that I've played with is Marta.
Georgia Stanway.
I have some nice English players like Lucy Bronze, Alex Greenwood. I have some nice players over here, so it's hard to actually decide.
I'm gonna say Kadisha Buchanan.
I must say like a family holiday. Back to Bosnia with my, visiting all my family.
I went to the Bahamas. Yeah, that was pretty special. Very beautiful.
Last year to Zakynthos with my girlfriend was very nice and chill, relaxed, so yeah.
A surf camp in Portugal and Faro with my family in Portugal as well.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica in 2012.
Serena Williams is amazing. In Sweden, Zlatan. Everyone knows who Zlatan is, right?
I think Bastian Schweinsteiger.
I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan.
I would say Serena Williams. Yeah, just created an incredible legacy.
I like oatmeal raisin. I know a lot of people don't like that. You like that?
I like that.
It's not a biscuit, but like a cinnamon roll.
Oreo.
I'd probably say chocolate hobnob.
I think that's soon. My child is gonna be there, so that's gonna be my greatest present ever. I can't wait for that.
A tour to the Harry Potter studios.
I'd probably say my Burberry bum bag. I literally take it everywhere with me, so it's got to be that.
Greatest meal, oxtail, rice and peas.
You have Caribbean roots.
Yeah, Jamaican.
I don't have a particular meal, but Japanese food is my favourite, so any of them restaurants.
Definitely mom's Balkan food. Oh, miss it so much.
Pasta from my mom.
Never stop believing in yourself and always be happy because the good days are still there around the corner.
Believing in yourself, really. I think that's the main one.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Behind the athlete you've become and the hours of practice, there's a little girl who just fell in love with the game. Play for her.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Pinto and this is Get to Know. I think Brighton is the perfect project. The club has such a good vision and it's a very ambitious club. And I just think I suit here very good. So I'm really happy to join Brighton and looking forward for the next season. Very good. It's very sunny right now in this moment. So I'm really enjoying the time here, knowing a lot of new players, the staff, the club, everything here, but I am feeling very happy in the moment with everyone here. No, in personal, no, but I knew about Pauline, about Vicky, about Robo. That was some few faces that I already saw in other games. So yeah, I'm just very excited to know all of them and to learn a bit from them also. Very good, very close to us, very worried to know our concerns, very close. So very excited to start with the team and to start the league with everyone. Well, that's a good question. No, I think my main goal is to open doors for more Portuguese players coming into the WSL. I think we are very talented players, we just need opportunities. So this is my main goal and of course have a big impact in the team and help the club to be very successful. So I define myself as a collective player. Like I will put the interests of the team first. That's my main thing, and I'm very aggressive. I like to have the ball. I'll do whatever it takes to help my teammates, my team. but yeah, and I think I am a very smart player. I think I can help my teammates, yeah. I think it's crazy, the difference right now. It's the league is so competitive, so good. The facilities in every clubs, it's just crazy. I think any player now wants to be in this league because they can really perform in the highest level. So yeah, I'm just here because now I feel 100% an athlete and I can perform in my highest level, so very happy. Oh, it's lovely. People saying blue and white suits me, so I hope that's true. No, it's just lovely. I love the strips, the seagull. I'm in love, really.
Hi, I'm Laia Codina, and this is Get to Know. I think that Arsenal has been always a great club, and now the project with women is so exciting, and this is why I'm here, because I think that we can achieve a lot of titles. Good. I think that there's a nice group, and the players are helping me a lot, and all the staff. There's a good environment to grow up and to still winning a lot. No, I know maybe some girls because I faced with them during the World Cup, but not I didn't been with them before. Leah Walty. Good. I think that not only him, all the staff is very familiar. So I think that for the people who are new, is good because it's easy to stealing in. I'm a young player. I have to grow up a lot, and I think that here is the best option, and we will see. But I only think that we can achieve a lot of titles with the team. That's our goal. I think that I'm an aggressive player. I think that I'm very brave, or I try to be very brave, because I think that it's a good thing for a player. And I will also, with the ball, I think that I'm good building up. That's all. I already say that I love it. I don't know, this goal here is very, I don't know, it's very brilliant, and I think that there's a lot of, in this shirt, there's a lot of history, and it's nice to feel that.
Welcome back to the Chigwell Construction Stadium in Essex, where Everton in the huddle there are currently on level terms with their hosts West Ham. It's goalless as we prepare to kick off the second half. From a West Ham perspective, their main relegation rivals Bristol City have drawn 1-1 away to Liverpool this afternoon. That's a really good point for Bristol City, and it means that as we kick off this second half in East London, West Ham are only above that relegation place on goal difference. If they lose here, they'll be bottom of the WSL. So really vital for Rhian Skinner's West Ham that they get something out of this match. Everton themselves have only won twice so far in the WSL this season. That's twice as many times as West Ham have. And they did get the second of those wins in their last match against Aston Villa, so they're looking to build on that. No changes for either team at the break. Just a reminder of the teams. West Ham, Megan Walsh continues to deputise for the injured West Ham captain Mackenzie Arnold in goal. Risa Shimizu, Amber Tiziak and Howard Sissoko across the back line. Early chance this. Jess Zhu picks it up again, finds Oweki. Oweki looks for the space and gets the rather soft shot in, which Courtney Brosnan comfortably saves. But a really good start inside the first 30 seconds of the second half. Jess Zhu, her first start of the season. The Island midfielder with the low ball in to Riko Oweki, who's returned from another week of international duty with Japan, as have Hanoka Hayashi and Risa Shimizu, who are also in the West Ham starting lineup. I was just going through that team. Walsh in goal for West Ham, Shimizu, Tiziak, Sissoko across the back line, Evans, Hayashi, Stringer and Smith in the middle, and Zhu, Oweki and Asai in the more advanced roles for West Ham. And for the visitors, Courtney Brosnan in goal. Natalie Bjorn is still out there. The manager Brian Sorensen said in his pre-match press conference he feared the Sweden international might only last for a half. She's to the right of captain Megan Finnegan and Sarah Holmgard on the left of that back three. Hannah Bennison and Claire Wheeler in the middle of the park. Aurora Galley also in the midfield. Heather Payne on the right-hand side. And there is a referee forward for Everton. Katja Snoish and Nicoline Sorensen. And Tony Duggan also making her first WSL start since the final day of the season before last for the Toffees. Hayashi back to Tiziak, across to Sissoko. West Ham have lost their last 4 on the spin. They've never lost 5 consecutive WSL matches. Everton have failed to win any of their last 3 visits to West Ham. 2 defeats and a draw. They've only ever scored once away to West Ham, way back in 2019. That was the only goal that afternoon. That was their only away win against West Ham. They have a pretty wretched recent record in London too, Everton. They don't enjoy their trips to the capital. This afternoon's visit isn't going too badly at the moment. They've lost 7 of their last 9 WSL away games in London. The only 2 they haven't lost against Tottenham, a win and a draw. Bennison on the charge now for Everton. Out to Sorensen with the cross in. Bennison tries to win the second chance, but she's guilty of a push on Hayashi, says the referee. So a foul given against her. Clattered rather into the back of Hanoka Hayashi. So free kick given, which Megan Walsh will take. Megan Walsh, summer arrival from Brighton. Made her first WSL appearance for West Ham in that last match before the international break when Mackenzie Arnold picked up an injury the day before that trip to Meadow Park. And it comes back to Walsh, with Snuish charging in. Shimizu just manages to get there and finds Evans. Evans on the ball, being put under pressure by Wheeler and Sorensen, but works her way out of a bit of a pickle. Zhu wins West Ham the throw-in, which Evans will take. A WSL winner with Arsenal back in 2019, of course. Sai is muscled out of it momentarily by Bjorn, but does really well to win it back and threads it through to Smith. Smith tries to find Uweki, goes over her head, and Zhu was lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box. One or two bright moments for West Ham at the start of this second half. They've upped the tempo a little. It was a really scrappy first half. Few chances for either side. Sai probably the busier of all the players on the pitch, and she's back on the ball here. Short ball to Stringer. Sai trying to direct her teammates into position. Spreads it to Evans. Still Evans. Short to Zhu, who did well to turn but was then dispossessed. It will drop to Hayashi. Evans. Back to Shimizu. Short ball to Hayashi, who knocks it on to Evans. Lovely ball from Hayashi. Evans is there with the cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's knocked away by the Everton defence. They're in another gear compared to the first half. West Ham in the opening 5 minutes of this second period. Shimizu, long ball forward this time, headed away. Stringer. Stringer again. Short to Hayashi. Evans. Zhu keeps it in and brings it back on to the inside of Holmgaard. Lovely ball by Zhu to Evans, but she couldn't quite bring the ball under control. Do wonder if the pitch has played a bit of a factor in proceedings this afternoon. Heavy rain overnight and this morning throughout most of the capital. There's been a couple of moments where promising build-up play, particularly for West Ham, has resulted in the players not quite being able to get the right connection with the ball as it bobbles off the surface.
We'll win that, we'll win that, we'll win that.
Sissoko just managed to get it away and wins the throw-in, taken quickly by Smith. And Sai was a little bit aggressive, and she's going to go into the book here for the foul on Bjorn. Sai was trying to almost wrestle the ball back off of Natalie Bjorn. She felt it was her throw-in and was pretty physical in the way she went about doing that, with a grab on to Bjorn's shoulder, and she goes into the book. Brian Sorensen in the cap on the edge of that Everton dugout, barking out a few orders in the early stages of this second half. He was asked in his pre-match press conference whether he's already planning for January in the transfer window, and he said really there can be no plans. They can't buy unless they sell. Snoischer with the shot which deflects off a West Ham boot and behind for the Everton corner. Katja Snoischer glanced off of Tiziak's left boot. Brian Sorensen also making the point that women's football is growing so quickly that you have to pay twice as much, he said, for a player than you would have had to pay 2 years ago, and that's making it really difficult for those clubs outside of the elite. When I say elite, I mean the clubs challenging for titles. Everton and West Ham, of course, among the elite WSL division, but not among the very biggest clubs, and there is going to be a change here for Everton as Karen Holmgaard, the sister of Sarah, twin sister, enters the fray. Natalie Bjorn has departed, so first change of the afternoon for either team. Corner for Everton, and it's clutched out of the air by Walsh.
Yeah, get across. Yeah, get across. Good.
Shimizu back to Walsh. Out to Smith. Smith finds Asai. Back to Hayashi. Karen Holmgaard, the number 28, arrived at the club at the same time as her twin sister Sarah back in August 2022. And has had the greater involvement in the starting lineup. Sarah spent part of last season on loan at Fortuna Hjørring back in her home country of Denmark, but started this afternoon, Sarah, and is now accompanied on the pitch by Karen. Shimizu wins it back for West Ham. They had 3 players away with Japan, did West Ham, of course, all 3 of their players on the pitch this afternoon: Ueki, Hayashi, Shimizu. They were all involved in those matches too, playing time for their country. Double header of friendlies against Brazil. A 4-3 defeat and a 2-0 win. Snoisch tried to thread it through to Sorensen. Sorensen making her penultimate WSL appearance this afternoon, the Everton number 14, assuming she does play in the final match before the winter break against Manchester City next weekend, announcing, of course, in the week that she's going to retire, leave the game of football for good and pursue other interests. Only 26 years old, Nicoline Sorensen, but not enjoying football anymore. It's sad to hear that, of course, but it's good to know that she has other interests to pursue and that she's bowing out in a positive manner, positive frame of mind. The number 14 there on the left side of the shot, Nicoline Sorensen. West Ham spread the play well here with Smith. Tries to feed it through to Asai, who brings it under control. Approaching the hour mark, it has remained a fairly scrappy affair. Both teams really playing in fits and starts. Asai Asai works room for the shot, gets it in, and it's a good save by Brosnan. Well, Vivian Asai did really well to manoeuvre her way into space. Didn't quite get the necessary power behind the shot. Ueki won the ball, it dropped to Asai. She took it beyond Finnegan, and the shot was too close to Brosnan. But a decent effort from the player who has caused considerable problems for Everton this afternoon with her running and her passing. On an afternoon when WSL history has been made, a record crowd for a league fixture, women's league fixture in England this afternoon. 59,042 were present at the Emirates earlier this afternoon, where Arsenal beat the champions Chelsea 4-1 to move level on points at the top of the table, behind Chelsea on goal difference, 3 goals inferior to the league leaders. But what a result that for Arsenal, and what an occasion. Well done to the club for selling out the Emirates and getting that record WSL crowd. Sorensen knocks it back to Wheeler, who's also been away, and she's given it away, and it's off the inside of the post from Ueki. Well, that is the closest we have come. The ball given away and struck off the inside of the woodwork. And I wonder if Brosnan may have got the faintest touch to it. So close, West Ham, to taking the lead. Sorensen now for Everton, but her run is halted by Shimizu. Well, Wheeler turned. Zhu did really well to win it back, and it was crashed off that woodwork. So what a save it was by Courtney Brosnan, getting a fingertip to that effort. Just enough to guide it onto the post. Had she not, then West Ham would have been in front. Chance now for Everton. Schnoisch feeds it through to Duggan. Sissoko did so well to close Duggan down before she could get the shot away. But it's just opened up a little in these last 5 minutes or so. And Payne has won a corner for the visitors. Sarah Holmgaard goes across to take it. West Ham almost in front moments ago, but it's an Everton corner now, and it comes all the way through, and it's into the back of the net. Walsh couldn't keep it out as it was headed down from virtually on the line. And the visitors take the lead with only the second goal they have ever scored on West Ham territory, and it is Karen Holmgaard, the substitute, who has headed them in front from the narrowest of angles. Well, she did really well to head it down and guide it beyond Megan Walsh. And Everton take the lead. Well, just when West Ham looked to be taking control of the game, hit the woodwork just moments before. But Karen Holmgaard gives Brian Sorensen's Toffees an absolutely vital breakthrough as they chase what would be their third win of the season. And Everton, it seems, are preparing a substitution. Emma Bissell looks like she's getting ready. As Everton prepare to make that change, Emma Bissell on for Tony Duggan. Emma Bissell, the 21-year-old who joined in the summer on a 2-year deal, having come through the Manchester City Academy. Also had 2 years in the US with Florida State Seminoles. Separating her time from the Manchester City Academy with that spell in the States, and then joining Everton this summer. Evans just about manages to bring it under control. So as things stand, West Ham heading to the foot of the WSL table. They'll remain on 4 points, a point now behind Bristol City, who drew with Liverpool earlier this afternoon. They need a goal to stay off the foot of the table, but it's Everton going in search of a second. Sarah Holmgaard, whose sister Karen has headed Everton into the lead. Free kick for Everton, taken by Wheeler. Bissell with the low ball in, deflects off a West Ham boot, and Evans scrambles it clear.
Emma, line, higher, 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 go higher, higher, all the way.
Snoish.
Hey.
Still Snoish. Turns a full 360 and her shot deflects off Tiziak's head, and a weak effort comes in. And the referee is going to check on Tiziak because she was clattered in the face by the ball. Head injury has to be checked on, of course. Snoish did really well here against Shimizu. And as she hit the shot in, it smashed straight into the right cheekbone. I think it was Wheeler on the follow-up with the half volley. It's Hayashi and Ueki get some refreshment and talk to Rhiann Skinner, their manager, as does Kirsty Smith. Abby Lee Stringer and Asai join them. Well, just over a quarter of the game to go. And West Ham, as is a familiar position for them this season, unfortunately, from their perspective, find themselves behind again. Brian Sorensen, what a result this would be ahead of a really tricky match against Manchester City next weekend to close out the season before the winter break. You wouldn't back his side to get many points or any points from that game, given that it is against one of the true elites. And so this makes tonight's encounter so much more important this afternoon, this late afternoon encounter, so much more important for them to get something here. And we can look at the goal which separates the teams. The corner which Karen Holmgaard headed down and beyond Megan Walsh to give Everton the lead in the 63rd minute. The Everton substitute, Danish international Karen Holmgaard, putting the visitors in front. Only the second goal Everton have ever scored away to West Ham in the WSL. Mel Phillips looks like she's coming on for West Ham. In fact, they're about to make a double change, it appears. Mel Phillips, one of them. Karen Holmgaard there, the Everton goal scorer this afternoon. A towering presence with the goal which separates the teams. As West Ham prepare for this double change. Tiziak is having to head off the pitch for treatment to continue after being hit in the face by that Snoish shot. Rhian Skinner with a few last second instructions to her pair of substitutes. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a triple change. Mel Phillips and Shannon Cook. Shannon Cook comes on for Amber Tiziak. And Mel Phillips replaces Hanoka Hayashi. Jesu departs for Izzy Atkinson. Ireland international midfielder Izzy Atkinson, part of the squad which helped Ireland win promotion in the Nations League this week. It's a triple change for Rhian Skinner with 20 minutes plus added time to play. They look to rescue the game. Ueki is muscled to the turf unfairly by Sarah Holmgaard. And West Ham have a free kick in dangerous territory. No doubt about that one. It was Finnegan, in fact, who pulled Ueki to the ground. West Ham need to score to avoid going bottom of the WSL this afternoon. Evans can certainly deliver them with menace. Does this time to Asai with the header too close to Brosnan. Well, a player of her quality, you might have expected it to have been a bit of a harder task for Brosnan, that one. Lovely delivery by Evans. And Asai found the space, did the hard work. Couldn't direct the header beyond Courtney Brosnan. Lisa Evans takes it beyond Wheeler and into space and knocks a low cross in. Comes off Finnegan and will almost drops to Phyllis. Stringer tries to knock it back into the danger zone, but Everton clear. Sarah Holmgaard clatters it into Shimizu and wins Everton a throw-in.
End line, end line, end line. Thank you very much. Now let's pick it up, please. Thank you. Emma, end line.
Snoish does really well to bring it over the head of Shimizu and claims the corner, but it's a goal kick.
Organize, organize, organize. Go.
So we have another look at that. Snoish, lovely first touch, but Sissoko read the danger well. Everton with a narrow lead. Just over a quarter of an hour to play. Their goal coming within 120 seconds of West Ham's best chance of the afternoon, when Rico Ueki's right-footed shot was fingertipped onto the post by Courtney Brosnan. It was a wonder save, the faintest of touches. And 2 minutes later, Everton were ahead from a corner. So close to going behind, when Karen Holmgaard headed them in front. And that's left West Ham having to score this afternoon if they're going to stay off the foot of the table, with one game left until the winter break. Everton win a free kick inside the centre circle. Which Finnegan gives away. She tries to head it back. Luecki charges through. Brosnan read that really well. She knew there was not enough on it and surged out of her area to clear it. Had a really good second half as the Everton goalkeeper with that fine save and a good reading of the game just moments ago. Bjorn claims the throw-in, but it's gone West Ham's way. Trying to avoid a club record, unwanted club record, 5th consecutive WSL defeat this afternoon, West Ham. Just one win in the league so far this season. Asai is knocked over, and Everton will have to face another dangerous West Ham free kick, perhaps. From the last one moments ago, Evans whipped it in with menace, and Asai won the header, but Brosnan was there with the save. It was too close really to the Everton goalkeeper. But can West Ham cause problems again? Evans this time towards the far post. Brosnan claims it really well. West Ham began the season with a 2-0 home defeat to Manchester City. They followed that up with a 2-0 win at Brighton, but they haven't won in the league since then. Their only win since then was a few days later in the Continental Cup against Championship outfit Charlton. They then lost 2-0 to the champions Chelsea. Then came a 1-1 draw at home to Liverpool, but since then, defeat to Bristol City, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Arsenal, as well as a Brighton Continental Cup defeat. So 4 WSL defeats on the spin, and they're 14 minutes plus added time from a club record 5th. It's been a fairly decent response though to them, from them since going behind. Asai plays it off the heels of Sarah Holmgaard. West Ham corner. They're pushing for the equaliser, Rianne Skinner's side. The vital equaliser it would be in their fight to stay in the WSL. But it's looped straight out of play by Evans. How frustrating. Every set piece is going to be precious, especially when you've got someone who can deliver them with the quality of Lisa Evans, but got it all wrong on that occasion. And straight out of play for an Everton goal kick. Benison. Shimizu cuts out the danger, knocks it clear, but gives it straight away. Atkinson tries to win it back for West Ham. Phyllis gets the header and knocks it in the direction of Atkinson, who does well to pull away from 2 Everton opponents, but a third halts her progress and knocks it clear. Just a reminder of the results already this weekend. Manchester City 2-1 winners over Aston Villa yesterday, coming from behind with a Lauren Hemp double to win that one. Offside flag is up against Asai. And earlier this afternoon, Arsenal 4-1 winners in the top of the table clash, the London derby against the champions and leaders Chelsea. Leaders now only on goal difference, 3 superior to Arsenal, who are now level on points with them. And that game took place in front of a new WSL record crowd of 59,042. Also this afternoon, Brighton and Leicester in an entertaining 2-2 draw. Brighton with 2 down with just 8 minutes to play in that one before coming back to take a point. Elizabeth Turland with a late double after Peterman and Rantala had given Leicester a 2-0 lead. And the game which has major repercussions for West Ham, Bristol City drawing with Liverpool 1-1. Testrup put Bristol City ahead in that one before Sophie Roman Haug equalised just 7 minutes later early in the second half. But that point has lifted Bristol City ahead of West Ham, who as we speak right now are bottom of the WSL. They need a goal. If they collect a point, they'll move above Bristol City on goal difference. But Everton looking for a second here. Sissoko does well to get back, and it's cleared by Shimizu. And one more game to come this evening. Tottenham at home to Manchester United will round off the weekend's action.
Recover, Benny, come to center. Center.
Flag up against Everton for offside. Is Everton prepared to make another change? Megan Campbell coming on for Sarah Holmgard. Megan Campbell, the summer signing, another of the Irish contingent who played a part in the Nations League promotion campaign. Not in this latest squad, but was involved in the campaign. The former Liverpool and Manchester City player. His contract expired at Liverpool this summer, did Megan Campbell. Wasn't fully fit when she joined, so minutes have been limited. She, of the long throw specialism as well, has much more to her game than that, of course, but she can be a real potent threat with that long throw. Cook just allows this one to trundle out of play for the West Ham goal kick. This win, if Everton can hold on to it, will move them up a place to 7th on 11 points, 2 above Leicester, 3 above Brighton. Those two teams drawing, as I mentioned, 2-2 this afternoon. And that would make things look a lot healthier for Brian Sorensen heading into the winter break, putting a bit of distance between themselves and the relegation place. Just the bottom club, of course, who go down to the Championship, and had Everton lost this one, as of course they could still do, then they would be perhaps in danger of getting dragged right back into that. What will likely be a dogfight in the second half of the season. But they're doing very well so far this afternoon in their bid to pick up a 3rd WSL win of the campaign. Sissoko with a really well-timed challenge. Asai. Lovely ball by the France international, Toriko Ueki. Ueki back to Evans. Ueki's cross is immediately cut out and flies out of play for the throw-in. Time is against West Ham. And while the throw-in was taken from on the pitch, by Lisa Evans. Well, a foul throw has been given, which is a bit of a surprise given that, I mean, it was taken from on the pitch, so the ball wasn't really back in play as such. But anyway, foul throw given, and Everton on the charge with these shots, which is well wide of the targets. Never troubling Megan Walsh, that one. Stringer. Payne with the header, which concedes a throw into West Ham. Just over 5 minutes plus added time for West Ham to get a vital equaliser, move themselves off the bottom of the table. Cross in towards Ueki and headed down, and Asai flies in at the far post trying to get a connection. Ueki's so close to setting up her strike partner. Couldn't quite get the header on target, but it was between the target and Asai. It was too far ahead of Viviana Asai for her to get to, and Ueki has gone down holding, well, she's got cramp, it appears. Megan Campbell tries to help her opponent, who looks like she needs a bit more attention, not yet ready to get back on her feet. And Mel Phillips is receiving a few instructions from the coaching staff and a bit of refreshment on that far side, as is Kirsty Smith. Rhiann Skinner in the centre of frame with the bobble hat. The former Tottenham manager. There have been positives. There were certainly positives in that second half at Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, but the results just aren't there at the moment. And they need to start getting points on the board soon. Just 4 of them so far from their, well, it's almost 9 games now, including this one, and just 4 points to show. And that is a points tally that is going to leave them rock bottom of the WSL table unless they can find a late equaliser here to move themselves ahead of Bristol City on goal difference. Snoish for Everton, gives it away to Phyllis. They're both level on goal difference of -13 right now, but a West Ham equaliser here would, of course, move them back up to -12. Really close between those two teams at the bottom of the table. Villa now on 6 points above them. Brighton ahead of them on 8. Back heel by Bissell, but Shimizu mops up the danger. Handball given against Ueki. She illegally brought that under control. Campbell with the free kick for the visitors. So close now to a precious points. Precious 3 points and precious rare win in the capital. They don't often come away with much on their trips to London in recent times. Asai, low cross in, and she has won a corner as Campbell knocked it behind. And when it left her foot, you didn't envisage actually that West Ham would give as much as that, so it's a bit of a bonus corner this. Evans with the cross in, and it's off the boot of Asai, who claims another corner, which has been given. The West Ham haven't won in front of their home fans for more than a year now. It's looking very unlikely they'll get a victory this afternoon, but a point might just feel like a win. And they have a late corner here and a chance to rescue something. Low corner in towards the near post. half cleared, comes back once more. Everton get a body in the way and Brosnan's there. Zawecki flew in, but the ball found itself in the safe clutch of the Everton goalkeeper. Just seconds away now from the added time, which can go on for a while these days, of course. I'm not sure there'll be a mountain of it this afternoon. There's been plenty of substitutions, only one goal celebration, not too many stoppages for injuries. There was the stoppage for the Tiziak head injury. Stringer threads it through to Asai. Phillips picks it up for West Ham and finds Smith. But Everton defend well once more. And the 90 minutes is up. Long ball forward. One minute of added time played. 7 shown by the assistant referee. So 6 minutes of added time still to play. A decent amount for West Ham to try and get this equaliser. But it's Everton attacking at the moment. Bissell. Given away by Sorensen. Straight out of play for a West Ham throw. Sissoko knocks it clear. Evans can't bring it under control. And Evans concedes the throw-in. Five minutes of added time remaining. As Everton slowly claw their way along that far touchline with another throw, eking up a few more precious seconds. It's been tight, it's been cagey. Everton won't care if it results in another win. Lisa Evans heads off. Emma Harries replaces her. Summer signing following Reading's relegation. Emma Harries, 21-year-old attacking player. Everton win another throw in, pretty much inside that corner quadrant. West Ham just can't get it out of that corner at the moment, and they need to quickly try and create a final opportunity for themselves. Phyllis. Lovely ball off the outside of the right boot, but it was just a little bit ahead of Harry's. Bissell for Everton. Sissoko gets the foot in and knocks it out for an Everton throw on the near side. Just over 3 minutes of added time to play. Everton so close to only a second ever away win against West Ham. West Ham depressingly close to a club record 5th straight WSL defeat. Sissoko back to Walsh. Ball goes over the head of Harry's. It's picked up by Campbell. Campbell was hauled back by Stringer. Megan Campbell stays down. Referee just checks on her. She's back on her feet. No doubt about this. A little cynical tug by Stringer on Megan Campbell. Free kick to Everton. A second here would surely kill it. Taken short by Benison, and it's back with her. Benison flicks it over the foot of Phyllis to Snuish. West Ham still hemmed in their own corner. Throw into West Ham. Snuish not happy with that, but it looked like it did come off an Everton boot. Into the penultimate minute of stoppage time. It's a free kick, in fact, for Everton. For West Ham, rather. They just can't get out of their own half. And it's another Everton throw. Snuish heading off for Everton. Elisa Ahern, the 19-year-old, spending the season on loan from Manchester United. Spoke about how seeing Jess Park and Aggie Beaver-Jones develop here last season in their loan spells encouraged her, Elisa Ahern, midfielder, to join the club on loan. It is her WSL debut, these final few seconds for Elisa Ahern. The number 41 on the edge of the D there. Bright future ahead for her, I'm sure. And a first taste of the WSL. She's going to finish on the winning team, having been a part of it for just a matter of seconds, but valuable experience, no doubt. Another throw into Everton. We're in added time at the end of added time. Campbell with one of those trademark long throws right into the corner. Claire Wheeler to take yet another Everton throw-in. They have killed this game expertly of Everton. Really taken any sting out of it in the last 10 minutes or so. Just kept it in the corners, kept winning throw-ins on either side of the pitch, just haven't allowed West Ham to build anything. But is there time for one last break? Cook tries to carry it clear. Smith turns. But Everton win it back, and there goes the final whistle. What a result for the Toffees and for Brian Sorensen. Only their 3rd win of the season, only their 2nd ever win away to West Ham in the WSL, and it lifts them towards the safety of mid-table, onto 11 points and 7th place with just one more game to play. before the Christmas break. For Rian Skinner, though, who trudges across to shake his hand, worrying times ahead. They are bottom of the table this evening. A point behind Bristol City now, who drew with Liverpool earlier this afternoon. West Ham having won just once all season. Now on the bottom of the table are West Ham, 4 points, 1 point behind Bristol City. Everton, though, their hard work has paid off with a victory secured for them this afternoon by Karen Holmgaard's header. The substitute, who hadn't been on the pitch all that long, the Denmark international, heading home from the tightest of angles from a corner to give West Ham 3 oh so precious points. And they were probably in the end worthy of that win. Sarah Holmgaard with the corner and Karen Holmgaard with the header. The twin sisters combining for the goal, and we can have a look back at that goal and the best of the chances. Tony Duggan with a rare WSL start did so well to bring this back onto her left boot and whistled it just wide of the post. So close to giving Everton the lead. In the second half, Ueki winning this one well, and Asai freeing up the space for herself to get the shot in, but it was too close to Courtney Brosnan. West Ham's best chance of the afternoon when Zhu won the ball and found Ueki, whose shot was fingertipped onto the post. And just 2 minutes later, Sarah Holmgaard with a corner to her twin sister Karen to head home, and that's the goal that won it. Her first goal of the season. Evans with a delicious free kick onto the head of Asai. His header was too close once more to Courtney Brosnan, and West Ham couldn't find the equaliser. An unwanted club record of 5 consecutive WSL defeats, and one that leaves them bottom of the table, a point behind Bristol City, who drew away to Liverpool earlier this afternoon. So they head into the final game before the winter break next weekend with the need for points even more precious than it's been up until this point. So congratulations to Everton this afternoon, commiserations to West Ham. Thank you for joining us here on the FA Player at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, where it's finished West Ham United 0, Everton 1.